Why is the curvature of this bamboo-handled Gucci bag from the late 90s to early 2000s, so about 30 years, which is Tom Ford's era? You see the curvature of the bamboo handle is preserved after 3 decades. I know for a fact when I bought a dupe. In a previous iteration of this video, I shared that I couldn't afford a Gucci, so I bought a dupe, and it was the last time I would ever bought one. That the curvature disappeared. It sort of, the handle wanted to bounce back to its original form, which is straight. And so you ended up with a handle that looks like that, like a really awkward. And I know there's a style of these bags that literally just went on a, like that. So my question is, why is the new one, why do they include like a strap to preserve this curve in the current issue of the bamboo bag? Is it because it's not made as well? If you are a craft person, can you let me know? Does it take a lot more time to make sure that once curved, the bamboo doesn't bounce back into its straight form? Do you have to dry it before you curve it? Do you curve it as you dry it? Does it mean it takes a much longer time to make it because drying it takes time? What I keep thinking about is that in the past, expensive luxury designer items have to satisfy extremely discerning clienteles. And then it's been talked about many times, and it's been widely discussed how at some point the luxury industry decided to aim for a much wider, bigger market segment, breadth instead of depth, shall we say, of a market segment which rely on brand recognition. And good design like this isn't necessarily brand recognition to how well designed this is. The only one thing that's not as well designed is this really interesting, I don't know what this is, felt lining that they've decided to use. It makes the bag quite light because you only have one layer of leather. Nowadays, I suppose you'd have either cloth lining or something a little bit more interesting, or even leather lining, which will add significantly to the weight of the bag, sadly. But the other thing I noticed when I bought that dupe is the hardware, the shape of it. It simply was a lobster claw, while here it is a custom-made loop that you can't unhook, but it makes it like this teardrop shape that's a lot more elegant, and I noticed that straight away. And the other thing is this lipping. It's just such a discreet design choice that I'm just fascinated, because it's so hard to find discreet, subtle, but well thought out design choices such as this one here. This one here, the lip, this one here goes all the way up to the loop, the top of the loop, while this one here goes only halfway down up the circle, if you notice that. So this one is longer than that. So if I put it flat, you can't see the other side, while if I turn it around, you can see that. So one side is longer than the other. That create a kind of fall of the bag. So you could wear it by having one on top of the other like that. I create quite a unique, a nice, casual but elegant dip in the center there, and it also hit that. It hit the loop, the hardware. So all you could see is this leather and this bamboo handle over here. From the other side, similarly, if you put on the clamp there, the magnetic, which is quite tight, which is really secure after all these years, it's still really good. Again, it hits, all you see is this teardrop drooping down from the handle, and then elegantly, just casually sitting on top of the bag as if it's just sitting on it instead of hanging from it. It's such a simple design choice, which I'm also quite keen to show you with one particular Hermes bag called the WWII bag. All they did was to twist, like I'll show you, just keep an eye on that video. All these tiny design choices that makes all the difference. Similar to the puzzle bag, for example, cutting it across in a way that Jonathan Anderson did, instead of making it folded the way the new edge puzzle bag. It just, that tiny difference, that tiny change create everything, changed everything. And so you could see there, it looks like the handle is just sitting there, but you can't tell where it's hanging from. So the connection between the handle and the body of the bag is not immediately seen. So there is this mystery. The mechanics of the design is all hidden. You can't see the seams, you can't see the connection. All you could see is this lovely organic handle sticking out of a bag that sort of hangs from it, but you can't quite tell how it hangs from it. I guess I want to show you what Gucci under Tom Ford looks like 30 years ago. What Gucci under a designer who didn't completely start from scratch. He dipped into Gucci's archives and found the bamboo handle, which Guccio Gucci, I think, was the one whose idea it was, to go to Japan and source bamboo, because after the war, material was in shortage. And it became a classic. Jonathan Anderson, which I personally admire, he also built upon Loewe's heritage of leather, and then built upon Stuart Weaver's puzzle bag, which didn't look at all like Jonathan Anderson's puzzle bag. And then he went to Gucci and did the same, dig through the archive of Gucci, but not only Dior's Dior, but also Gaultier's Dior. So it's not about purity of design as much as sophistication and consideration, time, and also in terms of the aim of the design. And you can see that with LVMH, Anderson was given a bit more free range, and Loewe, because Loewe wasn't a bigger brand, and he almost as if he was free to play around a lot longer there before he was pulled back to make more money. Like you can tell from the designs, it's just cutting back and the corners are cut. And with Dior, it goes faster from do whatever you want for the first couple of seasons, and then after that you could see even from the flower Lady Dior, the flowers are now not as many, it's scattered only a few pieces. The economization of design started very quickly, because now it's a show, people are turning, everybody's looking, and now it's time to make money. And things are a lot slower before LVMH become the monster that it is. It's almost as if a lot more material, a lot more time, a lot more effort and cost is allowed, because they are charging such a premium. Now prices are, if you adjust for inflation, prices should be about 3,000-4,000. If it was 2,500 for the average luxury bag in the 90s and early 2000s. But in reality, these bags are being sold for about 6,000 to 10,000 to 15,000. And I guess my question is, what are we really getting? Maybe the exception is Fendi, because someone from the Fendi family has recently stepped back, sadly, but she was still involved with the Inner Beauty ISeeU Peekaboo bag. And she was also responsible for the baguette. That was also quite something in the early 2000s. It was quite a groundbreaker. And but we'll talk about that in a different video. I think I'm kind of gone off topic quite a bit here. So for more videos, unscripted, no notes, I'm just riffing really. share my love about handbags and fashion in your 50s. Subscribe. Make sure notification bell is on so you are alerted of any new videos. Until then, bye.